Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm Oblivion and I decided to give a try the Starcraft 2 challenge called Can you beat Starcraft without losing a unit? Special thanks to GiantGrantGames for allowing me to be a part of this challenge. Check out his YouTube, link is in the description below. I decided to start at the absolute beginning of Starcraft 1, Episode 1, which is Terran campaign. I hope you will enjoy. Let's dive into it. So what do we have here? The first mission is a very basic mission, it's a tutorial mission. We have a bunch of marines and SCVs, we go find Raynor, we kill a bunch of Zerglings, we build a barracks, we train some marines, and we're done.
You want a piece of me, boy? Anytime you're ready.
The next mission is called Blackwater Station, and we're still given Raynor to play with, so it should be pretty easy. The first thing I want to do here is encounter the first pack of Zerglings with only Raynor because he's a Vulture and I can micro him. As you can see, my Vulture micro is a complete disaster, but I still managed to kill all the Zerglings. Next thing we do is stack our marines right there and pull the pack with Raynor. The reason we're doing that is because the AI is programmed to stay close to the sunken colony. That means we get all the Zerglings without taking any damage. What we do next is line those marines, get all the links, get all the Hydras, rush to the command center, and claim victory. Okay, third mission. Third mission is called Desperate Alliance. Basically we need to survive on some forsaken place in the middle of nowhere. So how do we do that? Really simple. We build bunkers. Lots of them. Apparently the Zerg sends air armies as well, so I guess I have to up my game a little. Anyway, I did the mission again. I made the Pentagon out of bunkers, blocked the way with some buildings, and it worked.
Strap yourselves in, boys.
This one is way too easy. We can play with Raynor again, but this time he's a marine. We have a bunch of other marines and 4 firebats. Firebats here are not that tanky, so I have to be careful. The first pack I encounter has a Goliath, but thankfully Raynor is overpowered and I managed to save all the firebats. One thing here is you must not use stim or someone could die. Going on with the mission, I found that there is a wrong way here and I actually took it. Turns out this is the wrong teleporter. Now being on the right way, there are a bunch of turrets that I destroy very easily with Raynor being overpowered and all. Things are getting better and better. Everything was going perfectly right until I opened that door. I never saw it coming. So I had to start over, of course. And this time, I did it. Fifth mission is Revolution. This mission is a little tricky and you'll see why. This is the first time Raynor lays eyes on Kerrigan, pretty much they're in love after this encounter, which makes them useless for the rest of the mission. Thankfully, I unlock raids here. After this, and this, my intelligence started working and I adapted to the situation. The most important thing here is to remember that the map is split in 2 islands. I am on the North Island and the AI is on the South Island. The only way I can get there and the AI to get here is by dropships and or raids. Obviously we're not using marines in this situation because they lack health points, so I guess I'll go with raids instead. But they also lack health points. Most of the units and buildings I play against absolutely obliterate raids, so my only choice is to micro them. The AI attacks in 2 positions. One is always up here. The other one is on 2 fronts as you can see on the minimap. One going straight up with the ground army and one going with dropships on the edge of my island. Eventually I reached a point in the game where everything depends on my fast reactions. I even get the 2 lovebirds to help me with the turrets, and with every turret down, there's nothing that can stop me. Everything goes well, and I'm happy. Well, maybe not. 16 minutes later, after starting a new mission, turns out I'm a bon joie. Next up is Norad 2. Norad 2 seems like a pretty easy mission. We have Rainer in the Vulture again, but we won't be using him because we unlock one of my favorite units, Goliath. Goliath is a really tanky unit with a lot of ground and air DPS. We'll be using them a lot on this map. We also have a point that we must defend on the other side of the map, and the objective is to go there with Rainer and 2 dropships. The only problem is that the AI attacks constantly, so I have to act fast. So what's the idea here? First thing I want to do is rush gas so I can repair the Goliaths on the other side of the map, but unfortunately I lose a Goliath to a Zerg attack. This time I did something different. I put the ACVs in the bunkers and stacked my Goliaths in a way that 2 Goliaths tank the damage and the lower HP Goliath stays back, unable to be attacked. I rushed gas again and started building a factory. And since I don't want to risk losing a dropship, I lift off my barracks and move it to the nearest high ground. Meanwhile, my Goliaths are taking heavy damage, but I can now repair them since I have gas income. Having my barracks lifted, I can now see the Spore colony. I move forward to kill it. I get all my units on the high ground with the dropship. I try to clear everything threatening me while I make an elevator micro with the dropship. I get Rainer on the point, and I'm done with the mission. Mission 7, the Trump card. This is one of the most important missions for this challenge. We unlock tanks and science vessels here. If you're wondering why they are so important, this is the reason. Now, the idea here is to expand as fast as possible, so I want to scout with Kerrigan a little to clear the area of any hostile units. Unfortunately, I get a little greedy, and this happens.
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
Needless to say, I restarted the mission, and I started hearing music. Boss music. Anyway, third try I made a lot of tanks and science vessels, Goliaths and turrets just in case. There were some close moments, but everything turned out fine. Mission 8, the Big Push. This is the first mission where the objective is to clear the whole map. Okay, so the mission starts like this. I have floating bases all around my monitor, so I took a guess and started floating them across the map. Turns out there's a base I can take. It took me a minute into the game to realize that I have a nuclear silo. So I started flying around with Norad to scout what's going on in my neighborhood. I kinda wanted to drop some nukes. I mean, who wouldn't? So with this, we all knew what was coming, didn't we? I tried tanks, of course, and the thing with tanks is that you should always, and I mean always, have something to tank with. So obviously the only possible solution to this map was to swarm the whole map with Terran mech. Next up is New Gettysburg, and for those who hasn't played Starcraft 1 before, spoilers ahead, Kerrigan dies. Well, not really. I create an alternate timeline to save her since I'm not allowed to lose any units. This is where it all starts. So the objective is to destroy all protoss and let all Zerg live. It's rather confusing, but these are confusing times. So my plan is to wall off everything that I have from both races because I expect attacks. Speaking of attacks, I also want to clear any units that I kill off easily so that I can delay those attacks.
Destination, input coordinates.
To be honest, my second try wasn't that good either. 30 minutes later, after restarting the mission, I managed to get to the end of it. Now the thing with this mission is that if you don't know the real meaning of the word Zerg, you can't beat it. So I had to Google the definition and I stumbled across this. Large number of units to swarm the enemy. So basically, what I didn't know was that every living thing that qualifies as a Zerg unit will attack me in the end. This is the result.
Receiving incoming transmission.
So I tried a different approach. This time I moved all my units on the right side of my base. Maybe this will do it. Using every bit of IQ that I have, I blocked the way with 3 command centers, I pulled the 2 tanks in the front to tank the ground army, while I attacked with my battlecruiser fleet from above. And it worked. I guess.
Helmsman, signal the fleet and take us out of orbit. Now.
Commander? Jim? What the hell is going on up there?
Base is under attack.
Mission 10, the Hammer Falls. The time has come for me to complete the Terran campaign. What we're looking right now is of course my first try of the mission. Of course the way I want to start every mission is by scouting everything that surrounds me. Here I find 2 tanks that won't ever allow me to pass. After repairing Raynor to full health, I was on my way to the other side, metaphorically and literally. The only thing that I scouted was my destiny of restarting the mission. I figured out that I can beat this mission with mass battlecruisers, so I started making them. Little did I know that the Red Terran has way too many Goliaths. I lost a BC. And another one. Apparently the other Terran nukes me occasionally, and I lose a mine here. I don't know if it counts as a lost unit, but I'll restart the mission again. Eventually, I made a ton of BCs and science vessels and rushed the objective. After every restarted mission, I have come to a positive end. Big thanks to everyone who watched the video. Please comment on the video if you have any thoughts, like the video if you liked it, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.